Did you always get hosed out at Christmas because they combine your gifts for your birthday and Christmas, or is it separate? Will you get another celebration tonight?
No, they're combined, and up until about age 50, and then since age 50, I don't even think they're combined anymore. But growing up, a lot of socks and a lot of underwear. It seems like maybe even some undershirts seemed like to be was the birthday gifts.
That's not very fun.
It's not very fun. I'm being dead serious too. You get the good stuff for Christmas. The bicycle and the mitt at Christmas, and you get their socks and underwear for your birthday.
I guess in another 5 years they'll really separate it, since it's one of the big ones if they want to really make it feel old.
I actually think that after this year that there should be no celebrations whatsoever moving forward.
It's not going to be your option, is it?
No.
Hey, what do you do with Silvio to get him up to speed where he can actually help you right away?
I can't help us right away, but that's okay. He can't play right away. So you know, I'm hopeful that if a week from now or so that he can be cleared, then that would give him at least a week where we can, you know, run some base stuff. Like today, though, we practiced against Texas stuff this morning, so he didn't get into anything. And then tonight we'll practice, you know, man-to-man and our principles and stuff like that. So he'll pick some stuff up tonight. But it's going to take him 2 weeks at least to get to the point where he can be out there. And even if we just simplify 2 out-of-bounds plays, 2 side out-of-bounds, a couple of zone plays, a couple of man plays, and you know, how we guard ball screens and stuff. Even if we just do that, you know, that'll still take a couple of weeks.
How unique is this? Just having a guy that is just getting here in the middle of the season, and his first time he's going to be playing, it's going to be a big close game.
Well, you know what? I don't know that it's totally unique. It's happened before many times. You know, Missouri had a kid. You guys would remember Trayvon Bryant. That was McDonald's All-American, really good player. And I remember his first game back was the first day he got back. He like practiced maybe 30 minutes a day before, and then they played us at Illinois the next day, and they tried to play him. And you know, I told our guys how much respect they have with you. They put a guy in, you know, to play Illinois to try to get our guys fired up. But it's true. It takes time, and so but it's happened before, and certainly we're not going to be as good as we can be though till February. I mean, let's just write it down there. If we can buy as much time now and keep getting better, but knowing down the road we can be quite a bit better if things work out with Billy, obviously, and when Silvio gets cleared, it's going to be a couple of weeks even after those guys get cleared that we'll start seeing a difference, I think.
Do you know if they're working on his case or are they vacationing? The NCAA?
On whose case?
Silvio.
Well, I haven't talked to anybody. I take that back, Gary. At 8:01, I called the NCAA offices, and there was a recording saying "Happy Holidays." So I don't think they report back until January 2nd. So that would be a question for our compliance guys.
So things remain the same with Billy too.
Yeah. But I think that's, you know, that is I feel much better in at least getting somewhat of an answer, even if it's not a definitive one, on what our next step will be with him soon. I do feel comfortable with that. So hopefully we'll hear something soon. Our people will.
If everything goes as you guys hope, by the time February rolls around, could you see yourself playing a lot more too big? I mean,
oh yeah, for sure. We're you know, we need to be playing 5 guards in 3 spots more than playing 5 guards in 4 spots, to be honest. And so now if a couple of guys on the perimeter start playing a little bit better, but if you got guys on the perimeter that really aren't producing the way that you hope that they could, or you know, creating havoc, or you know, getting to the free throw line and stuff like that. You look at what we're really not very good at so far. Then would a big make a difference in those areas? And the answer would be absolutely yes. I mean, our rebound margin is average. We're not protecting the rim as well as we should. You know, we're not getting to the free throw line as often. And you know, when you play 4 guards, it's harder to do that. So yeah, I think it would help.
How tough an opener is this?
Well, I think anybody that you play in our league would be a tough opener. Anybody away from home would be a especially tough opener. But it's tough. I mean, when you're playing against a team that can throw, you know, 4 or 5 bigs at you, and certainly 3 with Sims coming off the bench. I mean, and we're playing right now 1 big that's considered a real big, even though Mitch can spell it, but he's not, you know, he's not big. He's only 6'7", and he's light, 205 or 210 pounds. So certainly this would be a hard matchup for us, considering how small we are. Yeah.
What do you like about Bamba?
A lot. I think he's got good touch on the ball. He hadn't shot it great, but he's got good touch on the ball, and he can change a game without even blocking a shot because people are thinking about him. You know, they're just thinking about him. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he leads the country. Brian and I talked about this earlier. He leads the country in block shots, but he's probably altering another 5 or 6 a game, and then, you know, he can score over both shoulders. He can do some things, but his length is just ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it from a length standpoint. The guy's 6'11" and wingspan of 7'9". That's plus 10, and I don't even know if there's anybody in the NBA that even comes close to that.
Is he more like the Texas Southern and Syracuse guys as far as the matchup with Dope goes?
You know, those guys were 7 foot,
yeah,
and they were long. I'm not sure they're as long as what Bombi is. To me, it would be those guys plus a guy plus can really play. You know, as opposed, you know, those are nice college players, yeah, but this guy has a chance to be something pretty special.
You've talked about free throws before. How important is it to drive and try to attack Bamba and get him into foul trouble? He seems to foul a lot with many stats.
I would say that's important, but I'm not sure the one that you would get fouls on him would be the guards. You know, he didn't have to leave his feet to block guard shot. I think it would be Dope. Dope needs to take it, you know, at him and try to force him to commit to fouls. So that'll be very important. I don't know if it's the guards driving it as much. The guards, you know, he doesn't have to leave his feet on those guys, but certainly a guard driving a bad hedge, stuff like that would be the way you get in foul trouble.
You and Devontae kind of gave a State of the Union in Sacramento after that game where you guys were at, how you felt. Do you think these guys are content with where they are? I mean, the 2 losses obviously notwithstanding, but 10-2 feel pretty good to head into this? And just overall?
I tell you what, I don't think that, you know, we've actually, we're 10-2, and that's how you grade us by record without question. But we just had a bad 5 days. I mean, if you take away the 5 days out of the 6 weeks, we've been pretty consistently good. But I will say this: if you watch us practice today, last night, I know we're just coming back off a break. This is not a team that is anywhere close to being a championship caliber team yet in our league. Not even close. I mean, we make so many mistakes, and our energy level's still average, and we've got to get a couple of individuals pumping some energy into the room. So I mean, I like our guys a lot, but the State of the Union to me would be, hey, we are still a big time work in progress. We haven't developed an identity yet. I told Brian earlier, you know, he asked me what I'd like for New Year's, and I said an identity. I mean, who are we? How do we make people play bad? Are we only going to win when we make shots? I mean, that's the type of stuff, but that's kind of the personality that we have right now. We got to get out of character a little bit to get tougher. We're not as tough as we need to be.
Sorry about that. How much can you do coaching-wise to find that identity, or is it up to the players?
No, well, I would think that it's up. Ultimately, everything's up to the players. Like ultimately, you know, if you take a test, I mean, you can get tutored for it, but it's still the ultimate responsibility for you to, you know, take that tutoring or studying and go perform well on it. So I think the ultimate responsibility is on the guys, but that is coaching. That is coaching, is getting guys to believe that they're actually something that may be a little bit better at than what they actually are. And what happens is when you start feeling that and you have some success being that way, then you actually start believing it. And when you start believing it, you can become that. And we're a little ways from that. But I think a lot of teams are, to be honest with you.
I haven't seen him a lot. What's Texas doing at that point?
At point?
Yeah.
Oh, with Matt? Well, he's controlling the ball the majority of the time.
Okay.
You know, if you watch him play, he's kind of like Devontae in that, or Trey Young. They want the ball in his hands, and of course they'll put it in Roach's hands and Andrew's hands when he's healthy. But he is a ball dominant point guard, much like Devontae is for us. Going into the season, I would have thought that we'd probably share the ball a little bit more with some probably Devontae would have it 50% of the time, and somebody else 25, and somebody 25. We become a team where Devontae's got it 80, and a couple other guys 10. I think Texas is a little bit like that when you talk about their point guard situation.
Texas overall quality losses within a couple of points of being ranked early on.
Well, you lose to they had Duke beat, and you lose to Duke in overtime. And Gonzaga, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't watched that tape yet, but I think they were behind Gonzaga and made an unbelievable comeback, if I'm not mistaken. And they pushed that one to overtime too, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, they've been right there. And the Michigan game to me is almost a non-counter because that's the first game they played without Jones. And so they hung 50 on them because they hadn't figured out how to play without him yet. So yeah, they've got 3 tough losses, but their performance against Alabama the other day was pretty impressive.